Well, good morning, everybody. I'm gonna jump right in this morning. I'm just so excited to be here. I have like the best day in front of me, but I'm asking for a lot of prayer. I actually get to start off today over the next 3 days, meeting with each of our staff one-on-one, and just want those meetings to be just a sweet time of connection. I genuinely drove home yesterday, called Lynn on the way, and just said, I cannot believe the people I get to work with. God has given us just such an unbelievable church and such an unbelievable family, and really excited about what that looks like for the future. And some of the things we begin to talk about and dream about, and you're gonna get an email later on this week that kind of lays out some of the things that we're doing this fall. And reading over it yesterday, I just was reminded of, while COVID has robbed a lot of things, it's also given us this opportunity. The word that Brian uses is to reimagine. To reimagine or rethink or reevaluate, or I guess it's just this time of not trying to figure out a better strategy. And what I've learned, I guess, in my own walk with Jesus is it's not about figuring out a better time management way to connect with him. It's not about figuring out the right program to go through. It's not even figuring out the right Bible study. It's slowing down long enough to think deeply about God, slowing down long enough to linger in his presence, to listen for his voice. I'm going to be honest, I don't always feel God speak, but just because he didn't speak today doesn't mean he won't speak tomorrow. Doesn't mean that he isn't speaking in ways that I'm not used to listening. Like, I think about the way that we interact as humans. We say words, and not only are those words aren't always heard clearly. And so we repeat ourselves. We speak with our body language, we speak with our actions, we speak with notes, we speak in a variety of different ways, but for some reason the only way that I think God speaks is if I hear him. Well, I haven't heard him, at least not audibly that way, but am I hearing him speak to my heart? Am I feeling that conviction of the Spirit? Am I being led towards confession of sin? Do I see him in the world around me? Do I see him in the people around me? Is he may be speaking through someone else to me? And so getting a chance to rethink those things, to reimagine those things, then think about what are those things, how does that play into us as a community, as a people in process together, a people plural, that we're all in process as individuals, but we're also in process together. And to create and reimagine what might the church be if it wasn't just a place to hear preaching and to go sing and not feel embarrassed because you're afraid to sing in your living room, or you're afraid to have that moment where you get caught at a stoplight, you look next to you and you've been jamming out, and the person next to you's like, oh, and you're like, forgot I wasn't alone. And so I'm just so grateful. And this morning I was reading Psalm 17 and thinking about, what would I pray to God? What would I want to say to him? What would I want to speak? And oftentimes I try to think, like, what are the reverent words? What are the words, oh, Holy Father, which is true, but if I don't believe it, it's just rhetoric. But the psalmist in Psalm 17, he said, show your wondrous love to me. Keep me as the apple of your eye. And keep means that I already was. It's almost like, God, keep reminding me. Keep reminding me who I am. Keep reminding me of what you're doing. Keep reminding me of how much you love me. And in that, we think that we're going to become these spoiled children, when in reality, maybe we're just going to get freed from all the things that distract us and divide us and destroy us. That if I cling close to my dad, I know how safe I am. If I cling close to my dad, I know how secure I am. If I cling close to him, I know what genuine love looks like, accepting me, knowing me. He says, so take refuge. Take refuge means find a place of safety. Oh, that I would be reminded that there's nowhere safer than the presence of God. There's nowhere more fulfilling. There's nowhere more like it says in Psalm 16, that joy, pleasure are at the right hand of God. Friends, that's who we are. That's what we get an opportunity to be today. Not do. I get an opportunity to be joyful, to be peaceful, to be with God. God, thank you so much. As many of us are trying to find a new rhythm, and maybe we feel out of whack and out of sync, and just like our heads are swirling, our schedules are confusing. Yet you're steady, steadfast, faithful, and true. God, your love for us, affection for us, desire for us never wavers, never falters. That as our knowledge goes up into the right, Lord, I pray that it wouldn't just be academic, but it would be experiential, transformational, deep. Lead me not to do more, but to be more peaceful, more joyful, less anxious, less divided, less prone to wander. God, I love you. Thank you for loving us. And it's in your Son's name I pray. Amen. Love you guys. I'm praying for you. Pray for me.